We play and call it work.
Hey folks, Janene from MiniWarGaming here with another how-to video for you. In this video, we are going to continue painting this Varanguard model, and we are going to paint the red leather straps that are holding all of the pieces of armor together. As always, if you have suggestions for something you'd like to see in a future how-to video, please leave them down below in the comments. So first we want to add a dark base coat onto all of the leather areas. We're going to start with the color Doombull Brown. We're going to mix it with a little bit of Lamian Medium. And we just want to paint this over all the leather areas. The main one is going to be this front area right underneath the head of the horse. There's several straps that cinch the horse armor together. And there's also an under blanket that I'm going to paint this same red leather color. There's also straps that secure the plates on the legs of the horse. And there's a leather strap that secures the stirrups on the saddle. I'm using this Doombull Brown color because I find it a really nice base that has a very reddish tint, but it's not too bright. And with this red leather, we want it to look worn, so we don't want the color to be super vivid. We want it to have a reddish hue to it without being too bright. I also want to make sure that I use a really nice thin consistency to my paint so it doesn't go on too thick and I have more control. And I'm going to be applying this in a couple layers. Since I'm putting it over black, it's going to take me a few layers to build up a really nice solid color. Once we've base coated everything with the Doombull Brown, we're going to use a more true red. In this case, we're using the color Mephiston Red. And we're painting this over most of the Doombull Brown color. We want to leave a little bit of Doombull in the darker shadows and in all the areas where different sections of leather transition into each other. So if there's one strap that's sitting right on top of another, we want to leave a thin line of that darker Doombull Brown color so that there is a distinction between the two different elements. But this is going to tint that Doombull Brown color to be a more true red, and it's going to create a very red base that we're going to add more muted colors on top of. However, since we have this red base, all of those muted colors are going to appear more red as well. Alright, at this point I want to apply a little bit of Nuln Oil. I don't want to apply too much of this color, but all of these straps have a lot of really nice crevices and folds, and they've got a lot of detail going on, and just adding a little bit of this Nuln Oil over the top is going to really accentuate all of those different elements, all of the different areas, and it's going to make sure that all of the details stand out. So I'm just putting a little bit of this down, and then I'm making sure to move it around with my brush so that I get a thin coat over all of the area and it doesn't pool or get too gloopy in any one particular place. Alright, our next color is going to be Tusker Fur. And again, this is a reddish color, but it's a very muted red, and it's going to seem like it's a more natural leathery red. And I'm applying this as a thick line highlight. I want to outline all of the different elements of the leather. I want to make it seem like the edges of the leather are a little bit more worn and a little bit lighter than the very middle. I'm going to continue lightening my edge highlight. My next color is going to be Chakra Orange. This color is also going on the edge, but I'm not doing it as a flat line highlight like I did with my previous color. I'm applying it just to a few places, and I'm applying it as a broken line with little dabs with a fine detail brush. I'm doing this because leather doesn't necessarily wear completely in an even pattern, and I want it to seem as if there's some sections of these leather straps that are more worn than others. And just by catching the edges with a few little dots in certain areas, it's going to make it seem like the texture is a little bit uneven, the color is uneven, and it's a worn leather, not necessarily a brand new leather. Which also makes sense with the colors we chose. Since we didn't pick bright, vibrant new reds, we want it to seem like this is a red leather that the color has been worn down a little bit and faded. I want to do one final highlight using the color Flayed One Flesh, and I'm applying small dabs of this color just in the areas where I applied the Chakra Orange. I don't want this to go any other areas. I just want it to seem as if there is places in our Chakra Orange weathering that are even more weathered, and just to create a final touch of brightness and a final visual pop. Alright, and with that final highlight, the worn red leather straps on this Varanguard model are complete. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more how-to videos, I have another one where I'm going to paint the highlighting on all of these black armor plates in the MiniWarGaming vault in the link down below in the description. If you don't already have a vault membership, you can go ahead and click the link, sign up for a 7-day free trial, and get access to my video as well as hundreds of other videos in the MiniWarGaming vault. So go ahead, click the link, start your free trial, and happy wargaming!